Good afternoon, folks. Jay from Cold Nights here, and today we're going to be going over my Nintendo Wii collection. I just recently did a Switch collection video, which I really enjoyed doing, so I said, hey, I love Nintendo, why don't we cover the Wii? So, thinking back to when the Wii came out, I was working at Walmart as a grocery manager at the time, and we would get our video game deliveries at 8 or 9 in the morning, and they would come in through receiving through a delivery service like FedEx. So the kid in electronics tells me, hey, we're about to get a delivery in. We're going to be putting them on the sales floor. So with that heads up, I took my lunch super early, which was definitely not allowed, so that I could go and buy them when they put them on the sales floor. So I rushed home because I was afraid to leave it in the trunk of the car while I was working, and I was so excited. And the rest of the workday was almost impossible to get through because I was so excited to get home and try this awesome new hardware. The Wii was almost impossible to get at the time. People were scalping it for insane prices, and I felt really privileged and lucky to be able to get one. So today we're going to go over some of my cool pieces, some of my rare pieces, and yes, all the filler junk that's also in the collection. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so much like the last video, we're going to start with more of the basic games, some of the shovelware, and then we'll get to things like RPGs and, of course, those famous first-party Nintendo titles. So let's get it started with the first game I have here, Pac-Man Party. This game, there were so many party games released for the Wii. It was definitely a huge selling point for it. I did play it a bit. The one thing I do remember liking about this is it allowed you to use the classic controller. Because as you'll see throughout the video, I am quite averse to motion controls. So if you like party games but hate motion controls, this one may be worth a play. All right, next we have Carnival Games. This one, I don't actually ever think I played it. I'm pretty sure I picked it up at GameStop or something. A lot of times now, especially since the games are really drying up and they're no longer really carrying them in the stores, I'll pretty much pick up anything I don't have, even if it is some kind of silly shovelware party game. So, not sure if you should check this one out, but it may be worth a peek. This one was totally for my son. Yes, the Wii was way before he was born, but he did enjoy playing it, and this is Counting Carnival with Cookie Monster. I know he did enjoy it, so if you have the little ones, this may be something that you could have them play that's on a cheaper console that you may not be as worried about them destroying. I know a lot of us probably don't want to let them loose on like our PS5 or our Xbox Series X. Another one here, I picked this up, it says $2.99. Twin Strike Operation Thunder. It looks pretty cool. I don't play a ton of like dog fighting helicopter games, but maybe worth a look. Chuck E. Cheese's Super Collection is up next. This is one of the ones that's actually kind of rare, unbelievably. It's not worth a real ton, but it is coming in around like $30 or $40, and it is tough to find on the secondary market. A couple of racing games that my son definitely enjoyed playing. What I really loved about the Wii, especially during his like formative gaming years when he was really little, was that I could pick these games up for $2 or $3 a piece and then just give them to him. And a couple of them survived and are still in the collection. So we have Chevy Camaro Wild Ride, and we have Build and Race Infinite Tracks to build and race on. Don't know if they're good, but a 4 and 5-year-old definitely enjoyed them. So again, if you have small children, probably worth a look. And then the last of the real shovelware stuff, again, I think this is one that I had picked up for him. Pirates Hunt for Blackbeard's Booty. It honestly looks pretty terrible on the back. It looks like it's kind of like a party game. I never played it. Not sure if you'd like it, but there it is. All right, so those are the ones that I specifically consider to be like shovelware. So next I'm going to get on to some games that are not shovelware, but they're certainly not like premier first-party games. And then we'll get into like fighting games and things like that. So first one we have here, SmackDown versus Raw 2010. Kind of a collection filler. I didn't play a ton. I used to enjoy playing wrestling games. I did not play this one. But looking at the back, it does look like you can use the classic controller, which is always important. So if you like wrestling, that may be something you want to relive. Need for Speed Pro Street in a terrible, like, reprinted Wii backer. But the game is there. Unfortunately, no booklet. But the Need for Speed games are all super fun. And I played them quite a lot with my son as he got a little bit older. So when he was 8 and 9, we definitely enjoyed playing these together. What I like about these, pretty much all the Need for Speed games, is at the entry level, the game is accessible for everybody. But there are, in all of the games, incredible challenges that are almost impossible for expert gamers. So definitely worth a look. Cabela's Big Game Hunter. I'm not a hunter. I don't hunt. Probably just picked this up because it was like $1 or $2 at Goodwill or GameStop. So if you like hunting, check it out. Where's Waldo? This one I actually did play and enjoy. It's kind of silly. It's not something that's real challenging. But I loved the Waldo books coming up. I'm 39, so I actually was a kid when those came out. So it was really fun. Actually, I think they were released in England before, but when they were really getting popular in America, I was a kid. And I remember getting them through like the Scholastic Book Club, and it was always a fun thing to see the new Waldo book. So this was a fun little play. This game is terrible. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up. I love Turtles. When I was a kid, I probably had every figure. If I still had them, I'd be living like high on the hog because it'd be worth a ton. But this game, I remember, was very shallow, and I did not enjoy it. And yes, it did let you use the classic controller, but it simply wasn't good. If you're looking for Turtles, I would definitely say check out like the Cowabunga collection, or drop the money to get some of those retro games, because this is not where to get your fix. Endless Ocean. This one was super fun. I do remember it only allowing motion controls, but if you love the beauty of the ocean and the creatures in the ocean, it's really fun to go around and see the dolphins and the jellyfish and all the sea life. Super fun game. Definitely worth a playthrough. Super heavy. What is in this? It has a massive book. Registration card. And very large book. So pretty neat. But definitely worth checking out. And I'm pretty sure you can find it for like $3 or $4. Drawn to Life. I never played these. I did play them a little with my son, but these were definitely games I bought for him. I'm pretty sure I kept up with like the whole series through like the Wii U and all that. And I think there was some on the PS3 and PS4. He always loved them. The game allows the kid to be real creative, no matter what like their skill level is with art. So definitely worth looking into. This one I picked up recently because I saw it at GameStop. Crash Mind Over Mutant. I never played it, but it was a game I actually wasn't even familiar with. If you had asked me if that was a real Crash Bandicoot title, I probably would have said no. But I haven't played it yet, but it does look pretty neat. I do see that it's motion control only, though, so take it with a grain of salt. Very divisive game. Sonic and the Secret Rings. Is there things about this game that are extremely terrible? Yes. Can you fall off the worlds for random reasons and die? Yes. But it was one of the first, just like Sonic 06, games to have this level of graphical capability. So it was really cool to see Sonic in this new light. So even though it may lack in gameplay, it's still a fun experience. Tetris Party Deluxe. I remember having a ton of fun playing this. Oddly, you can use the Wii balance board and the driving wheel, as well as motion controls and the classic controller. I'd like to try it with the balance board if the thing wouldn't snap in half as soon as I stepped on it. But I did not realize you could use all those controllers. So this might be a fun little experiment maybe a future video trying these bizarre peripheral controllers with this game. A true classic here, GoldenEye 007. I don't know if you'd call it a remaster, remake, but this was super fun, just like it was on the N64. I love how it shows that you can use the zapper. I mean, it's just the controllers held by a piece of plastic that looks like a gun. I never tried it with that, but these games were always so much fun to play with your family and your friends. I remember specifically with this one, having a couple friends over and just having a blast. So if you haven't ever tried these games, it's definitely worth a look. There's been a couple like remakes and remasters on other systems, but this one was really good. NBA 2K12. Yeah, it's a basketball game. All right, some good stuff here now. Heavenly Guardian. So this game broke my heart because this is a spiritual successor to Pocky and Rocky, which I absolutely adore. The Wii version, which is the one I have, I do now have like the PS2 version, but I didn't at the time, does not have a save function. So as much as I loved this amazing and challenging game, not being able to save made it a terrible experience, and it absolutely broke my heart. Just set a couple of these down. The stack's getting a little hefty over here. All right. Next, if any of you have watched my videos before or ever spoke to me in real life or texted with me, you know that I'm a huge Koei fanboy, a huge Warriors fanboy, and this also broke my heart. Samurai Warriors 3, only on the Wii. I needed it so badly on the PS2 or the PS3, and it never came. I did enjoy the little time I spent with this game, but I didn't get it when it came out. It does allow for the classic controller. I don't think I was aware of it at that point. I think I was pretty sure that you could only use motion controls. So I really missed out on this one. I could have had so much fun with this. And it's really sad that it was only released on the Wii. Uh-oh. GameStop box. Oni-chanbara Bikini Zombie. I think Slayers is what it's called. Yeah, Bikini Zombie Slayers. As you can see, I have the disc. These games are kind of like, I don't know, I would say that they're kind of like Warriors games or kind of like Ninja Gaiden. But I always found the combat a lot more clunky. You do definitely fight huge amounts of enemies. But I never was really a huge fan. Obviously, there's a lot of fan service, so if that's what you're looking for, you'll definitely find it. If you want like the kind of more polygonal, poor graphics version on the Wii here. But it is a fun little series, but if you're looking for a real deep gameplay or story, you're probably not going to find it here. Yes, SXX Blur. These games are awesome. I was a huge Extreme Sports, whether it was Matt Hoffman BMX, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, or a couple of the snowboarding series. This was motion controls only, but it was still fun. I still enjoyed it. I would really recommend anyone pick this one up. I think I get this for $2.99. You could probably find this for like $1 now. And it's definitely worth a playthrough on your Wii or Wii U. Very fun game. This one I haven't played yet, and I recently picked it up. But judging by how good all of the Spider-Man games that have been coming out are, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions looks incredible. It looks like you can play as not all, but quite a few different Spider-Mans, the 2099, Ultimate, Amazing, and Noir Spider-Mans. So this looks like it'd be really fun. I do see the motion controls only, but it's definitely something I'm going to want to check out, and you probably should too. House of the Dead Overkill. This game was basically made for the Wii. Whether you're using the zapper or just the controllers. This game is basically a blast no matter how you play it or where you play it. So I definitely would recommend this. Get yourself the zapper, go crazy. You'll definitely have a fun zombie blasting time. This one is one of the like kind of hidden gems. If you were a kid coming up when I did, you probably played Oregon Trail on like the Max at school. This game is actually worth like $30 or $35, surprisingly. But it is kind of a fun, more modern reimagining of Oregon Trail. And I would definitely suggest it as a hidden gem for your collection and as something really fun to play through. This one, I love and hate at the same time. It's quite valuable. Ju-On the Grudge Haunted House Simulator. You guys know I'm a horror aficionado, and The Grudge, both the Japanese and American ones, are probably my favorite horror movies of all time. So I did pay like market value for this, like resale value, years and years ago. Not quite what it's worth now, but I wanted it to be good, and it was not. It is very bad. But I sat through it, enjoyed the little scares, and enjoyed seeing my girl Kayako. So it's a wicked cool piece to have in your collection. It's not fun to play. Don't buy it for that. Epic Mickey. This is one of the games. I was never a big Kingdom Hearts person, so I was never really interested in the more modern Disney games. Like, I actually liked Pocahontas, Little Mermaid, Lion King, Aladdin. Those games are incredible back on like the Genesis. But I never really got into Kingdom Hearts, and I don't know what made me decide to give this one a chance, but I definitely loved playing through this one. The sequel wasn't quite as good, but I definitely suggest for like a fun Mickey platformer, this is actually really good. My Sims, I don't think I played this. I don't think it's something I bought real recently. I think I bought it back in the day, thinking, oh, it would be cool, like Sims with like kind of like me characters on the Wii, but I never played it. So if any of you guys know if this is real good, say so down in the comments. All right, next up we have Elebits. This I probably picked up like the second week or third week that I had the Wii. This is my original copy. It's not worth a ton, but guys, I loved this game. I even liked the motion controls in it. I had so much fun playing it, and this is still complete in real clean condition, and it's just a special part of my collection. If you haven't played this, the controls can be a little frustrating, but I really suggest you get it. I want to say it's like $5 or $10, and it's definitely worth a playthrough. And Nights into Dreams. This one was awesome. I loved the original Nights games for the little time that I had a Saturn. This lets you use the classic controller too. So that was incredible. I definitely love this game. It was one of my original like 5 or 6 games that I picked up for the Wii. And again, this one's complete in really good condition. Beautiful disc. I just want to mention, like, a lot of the Wii discs are real pretty. If you really look at the Wii games in your collection, a lot of the discs look real nice. So definitely check this one out, especially if you ever enjoyed the Nights games. All right, let's set these guys aside. Stack's getting a little like hazardous. All right, so now we are going to do a couple fighting games. All right, the first one we're going to go over, and it's in a terrible generic case, Bleach Shattered Blade. I was a huge fan of Bleach. I loved it to death. I'm excited for the new anime that's coming out for it. This game, motion controls only, but I suffered through it because being able to actually play these guys in like full 3D, in like a 3D fighter, it was super exciting. Now, they put out some great games for the DS. They had like a tactical role-playing game and a couple fighting games, and I loved those to death. But this was really the first one that I got my hands on, and though I despised the controls, it was still pretty fun. And you can find this pretty cheap, I think, $5 or $10. It might be worth a check if you do like Bleach. All right, this is classic. Probably one of the best fighting games I've ever played. Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. This is just incredible. It's all your Capcom guys. It's the dudes from like Kamen Rider, and like it is so good. So good. It's not motion controls. You can totally use your GameCube controller or your classic controller. And this is just a classic, wonderful, incredible fighting game. Probably in my top 5 fighting games. Definitely get this. I want to say it's gone up a little in value. You may have to drop like 20 or 25 on it, but it's definitely worth it. Another one that's definitely worth it is King of Fighters Collection Orochi Saga. This has King of Fighters 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98. I love the King of Fighters games. I love SNK. You really can't beat this. It's a great collection. One of the things I want to fill a hole in my collection, they also put out an anthology for Samurai Showdown, another wonderful SNK fighter. I do have it on like PS2, I think, but I did want to get it for the Wii, so I will have to add that. But guys, if you love SNK, you have to get this. I'm pretty sure it had, yeah, the disc again. This disc here is beautiful. Nice booklet, really good stuff. All right. So now we're on to a couple of Harvest Moon games. All right. Now these were from the time before the Harvest Moon games became complete garbage. There was this like intermediate time where they were pretty decent, but they're not the way they were when they first started. So first we have Animal Parade. This one was real fun. Great art style in it, as always. Looks pretty neat. And then we have Tree of Tranquility. So I've always loved Natsume games. They make some great ones like Africa on PS3. And obviously Harvest Moon. But this is kind of in that transition period. So these ones are still pretty fun to play. I do not suggest you pick up any modern day ones. They are very bad. But these ones are definitely worth a look. I don't want to say they're too valuable. Maybe $10 or $15 a piece. Probably worth a pickup. They're fun, cute little things to play at the bare minimum. So, all right. This was an absolute classic. It has a big, beautiful book. Beautiful disc. Muramasa the Demon Blade. This was the original release. I played the hell out of it on the Vita. But when I got this home, I must have played for hours just sitting there in a trance. It is one of the goddamn most beautiful games I've ever seen. Whether or not you enjoy like side-scrolling hack and slash action games, you have to get this. I know it's expensive. I don't care. Get it. It's really good. All right, a couple of role-playing games. This one is crazy. I really enjoy it. Pandora's Tower. It's worth a bit more than the $20 I paid for it at the time. I want to say it's like maybe $40 now. But this is the one where you fall in love with this girl, and she's linked to these 13 towers and these terrible creatures and these evil... Yeah, you have to kill them and feed them to her to help her rid herself of this curse. And you literally like watch her eat like parts of the... Yeah, it's incredible. The gameplay is fun. This one's super hard to find. So I would maybe suggest picking it up as soon as possible. I'm not really sure about the speculative market on the Wii. I'm not really seeing a ton of stuff jump. But I don't know. I feel like you probably should get this sooner than later if it's something you're interested in. The other big role-playing game... Well, other than Xenoblade Chronicles, which you'll notice is absent here. I do not have it on the Wii. But Last Story. This game was beautiful. This one is my original copy. But this game is great. The art style is beautiful. The story is a little confusing. It gets real political. But it is real fun. And it's one of the better RPGs. Not that there's a ton. And it's also kind of rare. Same story with Pandora's Tower. You may want to check this one out sooner than later. All right. Dragon Quest. Love Dragon Quest. Love the Dragon Quest Warriors games. Love Dragon Quest. You name it. I played most of them. Like I say, I played all of them. I really enjoyed 10. I really enjoyed 11. Dragon Quest Swords is totally a motion control sword fighting game set with Dragon Quest monsters. And I don't know if it's original characters or characters from the prior games, but I picked it up because it's Dragon Quest. I honestly didn't play it. I honestly don't want to play it. Kind of a similar deal with Bleach Shattered Blade, but I liked Bleach way more than I liked Dragon Quest. So, I have it. I don't think I'm ever going to play it. It's not worth much, maybe $2 or $3. It's worth a pickup if you collect the Dragon Quest games. And Tales of Symphonia, again, generic case, but Dawning of the New World. Emil, the protagonist, was voted, I think, the fourth most annoying RPG character in one of the video game publications. I never played this. I picked it up just because it's Tales of Symphonia. But I might give it a playthrough sometime just to see what they're talking about. Like, why is he so bad? The Tales games are all so incredible. I just want to know why they hate that guy so much. So I'll have to give it a try sometime. All right. So done with that stack. Let's move on to some survival horror and a very special piece. So first we're going to go over Silent Hill Shattered Memories. This game is cool. The graphics are pretty good for the time. You learn a couple new things, but it's basically the first Silent Hill in like a terrible new gameplay form. You basically can't really fight off the enemies or kill them. You can fend them off a little bit, but it's running away from them. It's motion control only. I did not enjoy the game. I enjoyed some of the visuals. It definitely had a creepy atmosphere. I think you should pick it up, but not because you're going to enjoy playing it. Obscure the Aftermath. Now this one's classic. It's not as good as the original Obscure, but this is really neat. I remember I picked this up when I didn't even know what Obscure was. And then when I really got more into horror and survival horror, I realized I actually have a pretty cool piece here. I don't think it's super valuable. I want to say maybe it's like 20 or 30 bucks. But it was super fun to play. Pretty sure this one's complete. Yeah, nice book with like the dude with like his warped face. Pretty good stuff. Definitely suggest you check it out. Great way to start your Obscure collection. The other games are more expensive. I have a loose copy of the first one, and I'm pretty sure loose is worth like $100. So they're quite expensive. Great entry point. Resident Evil 4, and this one, Wii Edition, so you can use the awful motion controls if you want to, which I don't know why you would. It does allow for the classic controller. If you absolutely have to play it on the Wii, or you're a Resident Evil fanboy like me, you absolutely got to pick this up. Super excited for the remake, obviously, but this was fun, and this one is complete. The book's a little warped, but in pretty good shape, but definitely worth picking up. I would not say it's the best way to experience, obviously, but definitely worth picking up. And with that being said, we're going to get to one of my cooler pieces. This is absolutely one of my favorite things in my entire video game collection. So this is the Dark Side Chronicles Magnum and Knife set. All right. So here's the front of it, and you can see the awesome plastic video game peripherals. All right. For the Wii, it's that classic stuff. But I love, love, love how the back is displayed. You turn it over, and the game is displayed prominently in this window. This thing is one of the coolest things I own. And I do have Dark Side Chronicles and Umbrella Chronicles. I don't think Umbrella Chronicles is in my stack of games here. It must be somewhere else. So I guess it's not 70 games, it's 71. But this is one of the coolest things I have. And even a lot of people that are big Resident Evil aficionados have not seen this thing sealed in a box. This is pretty neat. I don't know what the value is, maybe $80, $90, but to me, this is priceless. I'll never open it. I try to clean up and get the dust off it every once in a while. It's definitely one of the coolest things I have in my collection. All right, now we are on to some Nintendo titles. So we're going to start with Metroid Prime Corruption. So this is it looks really cool. I never played it. I was into the classic Metroids. I honestly didn't get into any like the first person shooters or the new ones. Like I didn't play Metroid Dread or anything like that. So, but it's a cool thing to have, especially for a Nintendo collection. It's complete. The disc looks beautiful. Definitely a cool piece to have. Let me know down in the comments. Was this one of the ones that was like really good? Now, something I didn't play to something I played to death, Animal Crossing City Folk. This was probably, like if I could track, other than my MLB The Show games that I spent the most time on, this is definitely one of them. I loved this game to death. I literally had to have everything, and just this is where it was at. I enjoyed the newer games. I even enjoyed the mobile game, but this for me, this is where I enjoyed it the most. The GameCube was great. I never got to play like the Japanese N64 one, but this was a special time, and I have very fond memories of this. And I believe this also used like the card readers and stuff. And I had a whole bunch of the card readers. I think you could have them play like on your console that was in your house. You could play the games you scanned and stuff. It was super neat. All right, Wii Sports Resort, which came with Wii Sports. Wii Sports Resort is worth quite a bit more than obviously like the little dinky Wii Sports thing. But guys, a lot of people like to talk crap about the motion controls. These were awesome. We all enjoyed playing these. You can say all the mean things you want about it. You stood in front of your TV and looked like a complete moron swinging around your nunchuck, and hopefully you had them strapped to your wrist so you end up flinging it across the room. But we all did it, and it was awesome. Don't forget that. That's a special memory. It's not something to be embarrassed about. These were great games. Another one that a lot of people say they hated, but I enjoyed so much and have fond memories about, Wii Music. Looking back at it, I can see there's a ton of flaws in it, but this game was so fun when it came out. I played it for like days straight when I first got it. I don't care what anybody says about it. And that's the beauty of your personal experience with video games. A lot of people say this is like unplayable and that like your inputs have little meaning to the music. I enjoyed this so much. I honestly don't care what anybody says. So I say pick it up. Some people say don't. I say pick it up. It's not very expensive, so it's definitely worth a look at. Poke Park Wii Pikachu's Adventure. I got this because it was Pokemon, and I thought it would be super rare and valuable. I think it has a little value to it, but I honestly didn't check it out. I know some of like the Pokemon fans out there are probably very angry at me, but it's a cool piece. I think it's nice and complete. Yeah, beautiful discs again. Like there's something so vibrant about the Wii discs. It's definitely one of the things looking back that I really enjoy. Look at all this cute Pokemon. Little Piplup. Anyways, good stuff. All right, now, what do we got here? All right. The Kirby's Dream Collection. Obviously, having all the classic Kirby titles from Game Boy and Nintendo is super cool. I actually never really got into like the Kirby 64 and all that stuff, but this was cool. I was super glad to have it. This was like Nintendo's one of their few like forays into these special editions, and they're cool to have, and they have little booklets in them and stuff. But honestly, they never attained any value. You'll see, I have the Mario one in my Mario stack here, but they're super fun to have, and they give you access to a lot of cool games. But don't get it because you think it's going to be some like collection piece. It looks nice, but it's not going to like bring you vast fortunes in the future. Skyward Sword, beautiful copy of it. This was, I sadly don't think I have the outer shell, but this was the special edition that had the gold controller that I have here on the table. This was super neat. I didn't play it a lot. My wife was really into these, so most of these I watched her play, and it's the same thing with Twilight Princess, another incredible game. I remember Twilight Princess. Before my son was born, we had his room was like our game room. We had another couch in there, and we had like the Wii set up in there. And it was a nice open space where you could do the motion controls and not worry about smacking into something or hurting yourself. And I remember sitting in there on the couch watching her play both of these games, but specifically Twilight Princess, just for hours. I can actually remember that evil Spire Dragon. What was his name? Argarok, I think. Yeah, maybe that was his name. That fight took forever. We really struggled, and I would try, and of course I was no good with it because I wasn't actually playing most of the time. But wonderful memories of playing games with a great friend and just enjoying something, even though I'm not technically playing it. I was really averse to motion controls. I really didn't like them. So sometimes that did exclude me from some of the fun. But luckily I had friends and a wonderful wife that were willing to help me experience these. All right. And then we got some Donkey Kong goodness. I do love me some Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Country Returns. This was an incredible game. It harkens back to the Donkey Kong Country, the great memories we had of 1, 2, and 3 on the Super Nintendo. I really enjoyed this. I can't recommend it enough. I think they had remade it on like the Wii U and on the Switch. So good. Definitely check it out if you don't have it. I want to say these games are going up a little bit, so you may want to pick it up before anything happens, but definitely worth checking out. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast. I didn't play it much. Yeah, it was kind of like a racing game. I bought it because it was Donkey Kong. It has a huge book, and that disc looks cool. It's like orange, but yeah, huge book. Why is this so big? Look at this thing. This book is like super thick. What is in this? Wow, I guess the game is maybe a little complicated to control your eraser if it needs an instruction book that big. I don't know, but it looks cool. It's a cool collection piece. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, new play edition. So I definitely have the bongos for my GameCube. I bought this because it's Donkey Kong, but I would never ever cheat on the original with motion controls. If you ain't banging the bongos, you're not playing Donkey Kong. Pick it up though, it's fun. All right. Just a couple things left. I'm going to kind of put this one off to the side because the ground is becoming hazardous next to me. All right. Mario Kart Wii. Guys, I played this so much, like infinitely. Infinitely. Whether I was racing my own ghosts or playing against my friends or family, this was basically on the TV every day. A lot of people love the Double Dash. This is the one that I invested the most time into. And I've played them all the way back to the original. But this one, it was just at that perfect storm where I was really enjoying Nintendo games and playing the Wii every day. And this has very fond memories. I'll never forget this game. Mario Sports Mix. Mario Sports games, I don't know if you've heard me talk about them on the channel before. They're so fun. They're some of the most fun things you can imagine, but they have no depth to them. This one has dodgeball, volleyball, basketball, and hockey. You'll enjoy it for a couple hours, and then you'll never want to play it again. It's worth that. They're all really fun experiences, and most of these are things that didn't really have their own releases, like Strikers or like the baseball game. But definitely check this out. It is fun. It does have a variety of experiences, kind of like a precursor to Mario and Sonic, which we'll get to in a second. So, Wario Land Shake It. These are super fun. This one was more, I believe, of like a platformer. It wasn't just like a WarioWare game. And if I remember correctly, it was pretty fun. It was mostly motion controls, so I didn't play it a ton myself, but I did definitely enjoy watching people play it. Super fun. This feels like it might not be complete. Oh, it's not complete, but the disc is beautiful. So definitely check this one out. WarioWare. Not WarioWare. Wario Land. All right, now we are on to the Mario and Sonic. So London 2012 Olympic Games, and then I have the original Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This one's the Beijing 2008, and then we have Winter Games, Vancouver 2010. A lot of people like to say these games aren't fun. That's crazy. These games are awesome. If you played like track and field and those kind of like Olympic games for like the original Nintendo, this is like that, but just more incredible. These are so cool. I had so much fun playing them, and it's been fun to collect them all. I have I believe 2 that are on the Wii U, and it's a little mini collection within my collection that I'm really proud of having, and I really enjoyed playing all these games, and I think you would too. So definitely check them out. Super Paper Mario. Oh man, Paper Mario, one of my favorite things ever. This is definitely worth multiple playthroughs. Um, the motion controls really don't affect it as much because it's not really like an action game. But this game was so good, guys. Definitely check it out. I really think you'll enjoy it. I want to say this one has stayed relatively cheap. I don't think it's more than like $20 or $30. So it's still pretty affordable too. Super Mario All Stars. I obviously had this on the Super Nintendo as well. I love all these original games. There's nothing bad to say here. You can't lose with this. Definitely check it out. And then I'm pretty sure we also have the Super Fancy Edition. Again, one of Nintendo's collector editions that never really attained a ton of value, but it's a super cool piece to have in the collection. It comes with like a booklet and a soundtrack. So definitely worth checking out. Like I said, these games are all super fun. If for some reason you haven't played the original games, please do. They're so much better than the games they put out now. Odyssey was really good, but a lot of the like new Super Mario and Mario 3D Land, like they were fun, but they just don't compare to these. So if you're kind of like a newer person to gaming or you're much younger than me, definitely get this. You can get this for like $10, I think, and go back and enjoy these. And then two of the best games to be released on the Wii. We're going to end the video with this. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Innovative gameplay, introducing iconic characters like Rosalina and the little star dudes. You cannot beat these games. I was super excited to see them get the re-release. These are where it's at. These are some of the most incredible titles on the Wii. If you don't have these, get them. I want to say they're not super expensive. They're not going for like $60 or $70. But you never know with these. So I would get them in that collection, enjoy them. Super fun. Guys, thank you for watching. I had a really good time doing this video and sharing my collection with you guys. I hope to make more of these. I think my PS4 collection is probably too big to do. It's like up over 400. Maybe I can do some genres or developers for that one. But thanks for watching. And as always, stay creepy. Your friend has knocked at the door like 5 times and interrupted one of my goddamn videos.